So, Jonathan Turley, let's bring you in because a couple of points here. I've just been texting back and forth with one of former President Trump's sons, Eric. Apparently, according to Eric, his father is feeling strong today. Told me that he said he's sad for this country, but I, Eric, have never met someone with more backbone. He also makes the point, he says Alvin Bragg has shut down the entire city, called up 38,000 NYPD police officers, closed down the FDR, and is spending $200 million of city funds for a $130,000 non-disclosure agreement. Eric Trump goes on to say, I never thought I would see this political corruption in our country. I guess, Jonathan, when prosecutors go after a target...
On an overall sad day for the country as a whole, no matter what party you favor, really, there is some good news to report on elsewhere in the country. On a day that Donald Trump gets arraigned and charged with frivolous nonsense in New York, that's naturally going to dominate the news. But there are other stories out there of great importance taking place. For example, Wisconsin is holding a Supreme Court election on Tuesday that will largely decide the fate of that swing state. In North Carolina, though, things are a little less tenuous after a Democrat state representative decided to switch parties, becoming a Republican. More importantly, the move will give the GOP a supermajority in the chamber. This news comes via Axios. Quote, a North Carolina Democrat lawmaker is expected to flip her party affiliation. Multiple Republicans with knowledge of the discussions tell Axios. This move would cement Republicans' toehold in a fast-changing swing state, handing them a veto-proof majority in the middle of the legislative session and a clear runway to enact their agenda, despite opposition from Democrat Governor Roy Cooper. Driving the news, Republicans, who are currently just one seat short of a supermajority in the legislature, have been hoping that State Representative Tricia Cotham, a Democrat from Charlotte, might switch parties at some point this session. But the prospect began to seem more realistic last week, a Republican House member said. Cotham is expected to announce her decision on Wednesday. Democrat Roy Cooper currently serves as the governor of North Carolina and has enjoyed veto power throughout his tenure, which began in 2017. Now Republicans will have the muscle to bypass him and enact their agenda without any further roadblocks. That's huge in a state which has become contentious at best over the last several election cycles. Even in 2022, the GOP barely prevailed at the senatorial level with Ted Budd, though they cleaned house regarding the state Supreme Court. The latter will allow them to draw new districts in the future, which is what prompted the party switch by Tricia Cotham. Cooper has been, let's say, effectively neutered politically, and that's a very, very good thing. If Republicans deliver for the people, they can help bring the state firmly back into the red corner. Now, that obviously would be huge for North Carolina residents, but also big for any GOP presidential candidate. Something feels like it's happening at the state level around here. While Democrats celebrate mostly, empty victories at the national level, i.e. spending money, Republicans are putting in the work at the state level and are bringing about lasting change. In Florida, for example, they've passed constitutional carry, a 6-week baby killing ban, and school choice, all within a single week of their special session. So there's every indication that North Carolina could be next with a series of broad proposals seeing passage that could reshape the political landscape there. Now, don't get me wrong, that's not to say that winning at the national level isn't important. It's very, very important, given how powerful the federal bureaucracies are. Believe me, blowing that cartel up should be a priority, and I can't wait to see Donald Trump do it. Still, the kind of change that affects people where they are in their everyday lives is typically happening at the state level. It's good to see Republicans making big gains in that arena, and while this party switch is no doubt political in nature, the representative wants to preserve their seat. Winning is winning, and I'll take this victory all day long. Now, on another side note, another interesting story out of Tennessee. The Tennessee House of Representatives was in an uproar on Monday night when Republicans sought to expel 3 Democrats who had interrupted House proceedings last Thursday by marching to the front of the House and leading the gallery in pro-gun control chants. Speaking without being recognized is a breach of chamber rules, and Representative Justin Jones, a Democrat from Nashville, and Gloria Johnson, a Democrat from Knoxville, along with Representative Justin Pearson, a Democrat from Memphis, were under fire for disorderly behavior that some Republicans were referring to as an insurrection. House Speaker Cameron Sexton stripped Representative Jones and Johnson of their committee assignments before the full House voted for 3 resolutions to expel the Democrats because they, quote, did knowingly and intentionally bring disorder and dishonor to the House of Representatives through their individual and collective actions, unquote. Quote, I don't know if you heard what happened today, but there were 3 Democrat lawmakers, one from Knoxville, who basically tried to take over the House floor and cause an insurrection on the House floor today, unquote, Sexton said on a local radio show. Now, that's not entirely accurate. There was no insurrection. But approaching the chair without being recognized and using a bullhorn to drown out other members who want to be recognized was a serious breach of the rules. Interrupting the lawful proceedings of the legislator is also extremely serious, though. There is no issue that can justify blocking the legitimate business of the people or interrupting members in the process of performing their duties. Now, before I let you go, am I mistaken, or didn't Democrats say almost the same exact thing about January 6th? And aren't Democrats sending 1,000 people to prison for essentially doing the same damn thing? I don't know. Maybe I'm mistaken. Comment down below. Some of this came by way of Red State, some of it came by way of PJ Media, and some of it came by way of Axios. If you liked it, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, leave a comment down below. There's a PayPal link in the description box, so please put $1 in the bucket on the way out the door. I'd like to thank everyone for all your donations. They're much needed and much appreciated. Now, with all that being said, we'll see you next time.
All right. Come on, move. Move. Easy, easy. Right.